and my daddy was black, and his daddy was black. So Mr. Officer, no, I can't help that. Won't you look at the facts? Tell me who's in charge by the look on your face. The rules differ with ours. Rather see us in cars, wasting money at bars, filling lumps of cigars, living under the bar, but distract us with lights, make me feel like a star. If I spend it today, then no hope for tomorrow. It's the system we live, got me pinned to piss, still taking my shot. What if I don't miss? Can't live life like this, man, there's gotta be more. Yesterday I was drowning, now I'm climbing the shore. With this mic I grip till the beats in the morgue. Got the world on my chest, but I'm only a George. Devil telling me stress, so I pray to the Lord. They think life is a game, well don't play on my board. No, 10, no, 4. Chin up, hold your head high. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did dirt just to get by. Chin up, hold your head high. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did. And my mama was black, and her mama was black. She got an army, in fact. That's my family, my pack. We spread over the map, but Lord knows where we at. Like a trick of a hat, I keep pulling these words, and I know that they feeling me. I keep pulling these nerves. They follow while I'm shopping, man, this king got me cursed. You would think that's the worst, but it follows his birth. I've been stuck on reverse, I just wanna be first, hoping everything lasts. Running from defeat with my feet on the path. Niggas want beef till we meet on the path. Got me on a daze, it's been weeks on the path. I just keep walking with the world on my back. Quarter pound of Mary just to make me relax. I don't roll them dice, life is more than just craps. Jay-Z said they hate me cause I'm young and I'm black. Don't know where I'm headed, I'm designing the map. Chin up, hold your head high. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did dirt just to get by. Chin up, hold your head high. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did dirt just to get by. Let's go. B-L-A-C-K. And my daddy was black, and his daddy was black. So Mr. Officer, no, I can't help that. Won't you look at the facts? Tell me who's in charge by the look on your face. The rules differ with ours. Rather see us in cars, wasting money at bars, filling lumps of cigars, living under the bar, but distract us with lights, make me feel like a star. If I spend it today, then no hope for tomorrow. It's the system we live, got me pinned to piss, still taking my shot. What if I don't miss? Can't live life like this, man, there's gotta be more. Yesterday I was drowning, now I'm climbing the shore. With this mic I grip till the beats in the morgue. Got the world on my chest, but I'm only a George. Devil telling me stress, so I pray to the Lord. They think life is a game, well don't play on my board. No, 10, no, 4. Chin up, hold your head high. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did dirt just to get by. Chin up, hold your head high. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did. And my mama was black, and her mama was black. She got an army, in fact. That's my family, my pack. We spread over the map, but Lord knows where we at. Like a trick of a hat, I keep pulling these words, and I know that they feeling me. I keep pulling these nerves. They follow while I'm shopping, man, this king got me cursed. You would think that's the worst, but it follows his birth. I've been stuck on reverse, I just wanna be all on my back. Quarter pound of Mary just to make me relax. I don't roll them dice, life is more than just craps. Jay-Z said they hate me cause I'm young and I'm black. Don't know where I'm headed, I'm designing the map. Chin up, hold your head high. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did dirt just to get by. Chin up, hold your head high. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did dirt just to get by. We all did dirt just to get by.
Hello guys, thank you for the first official live video talking addiction, the social media experiment. This is muted. Hello. Okay. I was muted for a second. So yeah, this is the first episode of Talking Addiction, the social media experiment. I decided to not post to Hudson CTV yet because I didn't have my show completely together yet. I didn't want to just go in there and not have a show. So I'm testing it out, producing it myself, saving everybody some time, just to see how things are and test out some things, test out some other things, you know, stuff like that. So what I have prepared today is you're gonna hear a speech. Then we're gonna dive into talking to our first guest, and yeah, we're gonna just keep it rolling. I said I would start this at 6 o'clock, but it is now 5:55. And I just really couldn't wait any longer. I'm really excited for this, and I'm excited people to see this information. We got some good things going on, and I want to thank everybody who has donated so far and has got me to this point. It's been a rough road. When I first started this company, I had the total ambitions that we were going to blow up a lot faster than we have. I thought I was going to be able to start paying myself, but I have not. And I'm kind of just taking this all in. There's been a lot of hard work that's went into this project. I think I've accomplished more in 3 months than anybody really expected. And I think I'm going to be able to help a lot of people. That's what this is all about. Really getting our message across, and hope you guys like it. So, yeah, let's get into it. My opening speech. Alright, you want to see a magic trick? Ladies and gentlemen, today I sit before you on behalf of the Greater Than Addiction Foundation, a passionate organization dedicating our lives to combating the addiction crisis and extending a helping hand to those in need. Our mission is to create a society free from the clutches of addiction, where individuals are empowered to reclaim their lives and find hope in a brighter tomorrow. As we gather here today, it is essential to acknowledge the severity of the addiction crisis. It has gripped our community, particularly in the great state of New Hampshire. Addiction knows no boundaries, affecting people from all ages, ages, genders, and even backgrounds, leaving no families untouched. The statistics speak for themselves. Staggering, painting a picture of a crisis that demands our urgent attention. According to the recent data, Hampshire has witnessed an alarming rise in substance abuse and overdose rates. The state's proximity to major drug trafficking routes has amplified the problem, leading to a sharp increase in drug-related fatalities. The devastating impact of addiction ripples across our community, causing emotional distress, financial burden, and broken relationships. But together, we can make a difference. Together, we are greater than addiction. Through strategic partnerships and engaging campaigns, we aim to harness and influence people to join us on social media, to mobilize individuals, businesses, and communities to donate to our cause. By utilizing platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and YouTube, we can reach a broader audience, spreading awareness and encouraging compassion and understanding for those grappling with the devastating effects. Our approach is twofold. Firstly, we'll collaborate with social media influencers and advocates who share our vision. Their influential reach will enable us to amplify our message and reach individuals who might not encounter our cause otherwise. Secondly, we'll create emotional, compelling, and informative content that sheds light on addiction, highlights stories of hope and resilience, and showcases the transformation power of rehabilitation. But dear friends, we cannot achieve our goals without your support. We need each and every one of you to be a part of this movement to heal our community and change lives. Your contributions, no matter how big or small, will go directly towards providing much needed financial assistance to those battling addiction, supporting their journey through rehab, and offering them the necessary resources to embrace a life of recovery. Their donations will not only be a financial transaction, but also gestures of compassion and solidarity. By donating to the Greater Than Addiction Foundation, you are standing alongside us and those who are fighting their inner demons, showing them they are not alone in their struggle. In conclusion, I implore you to consider the impact you can make with your generosity. Let us come together as a united force to combat addiction, restore hope, uplift lives. Every dollar you contribute is a step towards building a brighter future for our communities and generations to come. As a famous proverb says, it takes a village. Together, we can be that village. A supportive, caring, empathetic community that helps individuals reclaim their lives from addiction's grasp. Alright, thank you for my one viewer. That was my speech. I pre-recorded that one because I have a speech problem, so I didn't want to mess up on live air. If you're watching, please give the video a like and a share when we're done here. I got a really, really cool interview coming up with the producer and the songwriter of my intro that you guys heard. His name is George Mora, aka Vince, aka Hope the Rapper. We had a conversation today. He took the time out of his day to talk to me earlier, and we're gonna hear from him, and I'm gonna be asking him some questions. And unfortunately, I didn't really see when I was recording, but my microphone is super quiet. I was worried that the sound from the TV from listening to him was going to come through my microphone, so I'm really quiet, so I apologize. Um, but yeah, let's get right into it. Hope you guys like it. Calling him up. All right, let's get it.
All right. We're recording.
All right, sounds good. What's up, Doug?
What's going on, George? Thank you for coming on the show. Thanks
Thank you
for
for having
taking time out of your day.
No, thank you for having me. It's a really good cause that you guys got going on here.
Yeah,
Really
man, and thanks for giving us the rights to use your music. That's awesome.
thank you. Thank
Hope
you. Honestly,
hopefully YouTube doesn't flag me. That would suck.
you should be okay because I think they would probably ask my account first before they flagged it.
Sweet. Well, hopefully. All right, man. I know you're on a tight schedule, so we're just gonna roll right into the questions. I generated these questions. I'm gonna be asking these same questions to everybody that I interview, and get their perspective. I'm actually gonna be bringing on um, some people that I worked with in the Navy, and they live in different states, and they're gonna be answering the same questions, but in whatever state they live in currently.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's get into it. Have you or someone close to you been personally impacted by addiction in New Hampshire? And how has it
Yeah,
affected your family?
yeah. Addiction is probably the thing that affected my family the most because um, my family, my grandpa is a pastor, so this whole
All right,
idea
let's get
of
to
like
it.
drugs and
Have you or
everything that
someone
got
close to
introduced
you
to me
been
never existed.
personally
Like
impacted
that we had
by
like
addiction?
issues with like alcohol here and there, but like we never really like comprehended what was going on. And then once I started to understand, like I was actually addicted to like alcohol because I didn't in my head I never really wrapped it around that like alcohol was something that you could be addicted to. I just knew I needed to drink.
Yeah,
So it's
I get that.
like distanced me from my family.
All right. So next question. What do you think is the most significant factors contributing to addiction issues in New Hampshire?
I would have to say it has to be the level of information that's not really pressed because from like high school freshman year you're drinking, like it's the culture, like
Yeah.
you're drinking at games, you're sneaking around, you're going to the party, and that's the way to make friends. Like if the people who didn't drink didn't really communicate with people because they would never connect with them.
I feel that, yeah. I 100% agree. I could buy alcohol when I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah, like why was I able to go in a place and get a 40 ounce and like and then like the thing is alcohol addiction is since so many people drink, it's like not considered something like a drug. I don't know. It's crazy to me.
Yeah,
Now that I'm over it, it's crazy.
I feel it. All right, next question. How do you feel about the available resources and support for those struggling with addiction in the state?
I think there's resources for like opiates. Um, when I wanted to stop drinking, I didn't know where to go. Um, I felt like since it was so since we have such an issue with opiates, you don't want to be the addict because you don't want to like for out of pride, at least for me, I didn't want to be like with like the opiate addicts. So like I was like, it wasn't like something that was like a welcoming thing, and it took me a while to like finally get the good outpatient care, which I got from Greater Mental Health in off Amherst Street. And
Yep. Yeah. Um, Would you say that alcoholics carry a complex as if they are not an addict?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember whenever I was like really, really bad drinking, I was in a relationship at the time, and like I got, I broke that relationship up because she would refer to me as like an addict, and I would take offense. And I wasn't, in my head, I wasn't an addict. I just drink every day, and I need to drink, otherwise everything's gonna go very downhill. Um, and nobody wants to talk about that. There's the same, like, even at like our bars. I could go to the bars that I used to hang out with, and there'll be the people that were there from whenever I started drinking. They're still there, same spot that I left them, and it's not, since we have such this. I think I'm not sure if it's the reason, but just like being around all of it, since we have such a bad issue with, like, everybody's like, at least it's not heroin.
Yeah, I feel that. It's right now in the state of New Hampshire, after I've been digging around starting this company, New Hampshire sees it if your addiction has to progress into opiate use to get help. Why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, so next question. In your opinion, what can the community and local authorities do to better address addiction and its consequences in New Hampshire?
I think it has to start a little bit earlier. Like, we all knew about these other, like, at least like from, I remember like every single year, elementary school, whatever, I would say no to drugs, but nobody ever, we talked about prohibition and how it was bad that they took the alcohol away. We never really studied into like why alcohol would be taken away. Like, why was there ever a point in time where society was like, yeah, we're not going to have this in our place? But there's probably some, they're allowed to have it now. I understand there's some rationale to having it, but there also was rationale to taking it away.
I feel that. All right. What have you witnessed as in any positive changes or initiatives in New Hampshire that are helping individuals on the path to recovery?
Honestly, it's not even to just stroke your ego. It's platforms like this. It's the ability to go out and have a, a group and community that can constantly say alcohol isn't as great as we think it is. And some people will even look at this platform like, oh, he's talking about like being sober. That's all he cares. And yeah, that's good. Like, that's a really good thing, because a lot of people out there that just drink every day. Like, you are having at least one drink every day. Why are you doing that? Like, do you drink orange juice every day? Do you drink milk every day?
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
something that you have to have? Like, no, there's a reason why you have to have that one thing every day.
Yeah. It's dude, I played kickball every day at Dr. Chris for 7 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
That's an addictive personality that my parents probably should have picked up on, cuz that
Yeah.
transformed into video games, turned into weed, then it turned into alcohol, then it turned into cocaine.
Yep.
And next thing you know, I'm a fucking cokehead.
Yep.
And I didn't even really see myself that way
No, because some
until
really.
after the fact, and I was like, God damn, I just went on a 10-year binge wildin'.
Yep. Yep. Like, you don't even know. Like the 10-year like reunion for high school is coming. I'm like, I just got sober. Shit. Like, we
Yeah,
just like I'm just getting sober. That's wild, because I was partying out of high school. So that means I
I
was
feel
on.
like I just went through a time machine and I'm back to like junior year Doug.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. If you feel comfortable sharing, do you have any personal experiences with addiction and recovery in New Hampshire? What was
Yeah.
helpful and what was challenging during that process?
Me, I died. That's what happened with me. I didn't know you could like withdraw from alcohol. One night I left. It was like towards like before, right before the pandemic, and I went to my friend's house, and they told me when we were going to my friend's house that they had alcohol, and I used to make sure that there was alcohol wherever I was going because I'd always feel funny, and I never knew. And then one morning, everybody passed out, and all of a sudden, I'm starting to feel really, really out of my body. Nothing really made sense. I found myself like looking in like cabinets, trying to find like something with alcohol in it because I knew if I did that, then I'd be okay. I had a ride coming to pick me up. By the time that the ride got to me, I guess I was like seizing out on the stairs. But even then, while my ride's trying to tell me to go to the hospital, I'm just telling him that I need to get alcohol and I need to go to my house. Um, so he listened to me because of how stern I was. By the time I got in my house, I died, and my parents, luckily, they're both nurses. They brought me back to life, and my dad drove like a maniac to the hospital. Um, and then I woke up a day and a half later. I was unconscious for like a day and a half, and then I woke up and I kind of realized what was going on, and my body at this point, I think there's so many IVs and everything, I didn't need alcohol anymore, and I knew that was the issue. Like at first I thought it was cocaine because I used to like snort a lot of coke, and I thought maybe that's what I was addicted. So I stopped that, kept drinking, and then oh, it wasn't. It was the thing. It was the friendly thing that they sold in stores. It wasn't the illegal drug. It was that was my issue. So then, at that point in time, I realized that I needed to stop. I went to Greater Mental Health, and I was part of this out care program because in my head, I still had the alcohol, not an addict. I did it outside, and luckily, I was in a situation where my parents are both very strict people. So being next to them, being under their rule, I would still have the same kind of like rehab environment, and then I just honestly, you have to follow those steps, man. You have to let go of your pride because you are the addict, man. Like you are controlled by this drug. You have to let it go. Once you let that pride go and you start accepting, hey, maybe I was an addict, maybe I am those people that I learned about my whole elementary school, my high school, maybe I became that's exactly who I was, and that's not who I want to be anymore, because if I do that, I'm gonna actually die. And that feeling of, I still, to this day, I still have like visions of like what it was like to like not be here anymore, and that alone is enough to motivate me to not want to go back to that lifestyle. There's no part of me that would ever be like, you know what, I'm gonna just start picking up a bad drinking habit again, because you can really die. Like your body is, you're not Superman. Your body has its limits, and it will find its limits through something like alcohol.
All right. That was very powerful. All right. Are there any unique cultural or religious aspects of addiction in New Hampshire that you believe should be considered when developing prevention and treatment programs?
Yeah. We need to teach these kids a different way to be happy. Like, and we need to like figure out what, like, why this escape. As an adults, we need to start. I'm not sure what kind of program you could instill for that, but it needs to start at the high schools, because that's where I feel like all of this stuff is curated. Like, we learn very early, the solution to every victory is alcohol. So we're not known how to have victories without it. So when, as we get older as an adults, as we over our landmarks, we want to accompany those with alcohol. So if we could teach a different system of like celebrating, that would be amazing. A different way of people coming together, because I would much rather a group of kids come together for like a hobby that they like, um, rather than come together to always drink. And then, because there's things that you can do outside of drinking, there has to be, and to find different ways to teach kids how to celebrate would probably be the best tools that he could have.
All right. How do you think the stigma surrounding addiction impacts individuals seeking help and treatment in New Hampshire?
Because they still see themselves as they see their individual actions, they're not seeing and how addicts are stigmatized. So like if when you think of an addict, you think of like somebody who's doing crack, somebody who's doing heroin. You're not thinking of somebody who's having a drink every day. So if it could stop being like it, like anybody could be an addict. It needs to stop being that only specific people with specific lifestyles, specific financial incomes. Those are the people who are addicts. Those are the people who are junkies. Da, da, da. And like little phrases like that, junkies. It is a junk that you're putting into your body, but when you add stuff like that to it, nobody wants to be that, and they will do everything to avoid it.
I agree, man. I felt the same way for a long time. I didn't think I was an addict. Um, and I totally am, man. Like I just
Yeah.
have a very addictive personality, and what what's funny is if you look up the definition of addiction, it says any substance, thing, or activity can become addictive. So like there's healthy addictions um like working out. That's a healthy addiction. It's any pattern that you decide to repeat that makes you feel happy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is called pathway reward hijacking. That's
Yep.
actually science in your brain. You can
Yeah, you
look
have
it up,
different
read about it
rewards.
on my blog. Yep, it's like I work today, I get a beer, and your reward system is completely hijacked, and that's how you believe you should operate.
Mm-hmm. And without it, you're like, there's always going to be that void feeling, and nobody wants that void feeling because we're taught that isn't a good thing, and then so we're constantly trying to feed that reward system that we were taught.
Yep. Have you seen any inspiring stories of resilience and recovery from addiction in New Hampshire that you would like to share?
So,
Or you can go to the next question if you want.
yeah, I don't really know.
I'll take that one off the list for next time. I didn't like that one either.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on harm reduction strategies such as needle exchange programs in the context of addressing addiction in New Hampshire?
So, I think stuff like that are absolutely necessary. Like it's something that you have to stomach. But like the thing is, you could live in one world where you demonize it, or if you live in another world where you help. Like I understand it's not necessarily helping, but they're around a different environment. They're exposed to different groups of people and different things. You never know. Maybe one day, whenever they're doing that needle exchange thing, they run into somebody who's sober enough to get them convinced. So I think having programs like that with trying to like make a look like not tricking them, but like having like a system where like yes, this is here for you, but you should know this isn't that good. Like some education with it as well. And like the reason why we're doing this is because and like it's not to enable you, it's to try to like bring you closer to the water.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never really thought about it like that. Because I don't know, to be honest with you, I don't even really know much about the needle exchange program at all in New Hampshire. I don't. Do you have to go to like a hospital or something, or
I I,
where are these places?
I don't know anything about it. I just where I got the answer for that is to try to deny that people are using needles would be crazy. So you have to figure out a way to integrate yourself into that system and try to clean it up. Because like people are still going to do so. Do we want them to die from that, or can we do something about it? And then if we can do something about that, we can do something about the problem too.
Okay, I see what you're saying. All right, well, we only got a couple left, George. Sorry, I'm taking up your lunch.
That's okay.
How is has addiction and recovery from addiction influenced your perception of mental health and overall well-being?
Mental health is probably, I've never, it was always like cliche to me, at least, to talk about like depression and everything like that. And I realized that's what I was running from the whole time. Like, it's not like, if I was like truly content with everything and like in my mental health, I don't think I'd ever find myself in the point where I'd want to let go to the point where I'm drinking for 7 days in a row. I don't think I would have ever reached that. I think if like I paid more, there was ways for me to pay, and if I paid more attention to my mental health, I wouldn't have been wanting to release so bad.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I would never have found out I had celiac disease. Every
Yeah,
time I went to the hospital throwing up, they told me it was the alcohol and sent me on my way. Nobody ever said it was the gluten in the 90 beers I drank.
yeah. I would have to do some. Oh shit! I didn't even think about the gluten in beer.
Yeah, it's like a gluten soda, bro. My
Yeah.
screen's up here, by the way, if you're like wondering why I'm looking up here. I have like a TV on my wall, and like my
Oh,
questions are down here on the laptop. Just
okay.
wanted to clear that up because I don't know if I'm gonna be sharing this whole screen that I'm seeing, or if I'm gonna edit it down to do that like phone thing I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, a few left. What would you say to someone who may be struggling with addiction in New Hampshire, feeling unsure about seeking help?
If you're scared to lose the people around you, I understand, but you have to lose. Um, I don't. I think a real big thing for me, at least it was to get to where I am right now. I've lost pretty much everybody that I had that I thought was people that I love, and I did love those people, but in the end of the day, now that I go around them and I hang around them, I hear them tell them the stories of me and how I was, and in my head, I'm like, you were just watching me, like, because everybody's watched. Like, the thing is, you need to take a step back and look at yourself, because everybody's watching you, all those little silly things that you're doing when you're drunk, and like they're letting you do it, and you have to take the control back. That's what I would have to say.
Yeah, dude, I was so drunk at my club one time. I went to the bathroom and I didn't even take my dick out to piss. I just stood at the urinal pissing my pants and then went back down and sat down.
Yeah, that's no, that
That's
should have happened. That should have happened.
but all right, man, that was actually the last question. Thank you for your time, and
Hey, thank you
I
for
hope
having. This is a great platform. I hope other people are able to speak out, because it's a good release too. How I feel right now after like talking about this, since it's been so long, I feel like, wow, I really did make changes. Like, I'm not the same person, which is, it's a good feeling.
that's amazing to hear, man. I'm glad I can help you out, and I'm happy to be able to share this on the platform, and hopefully we get some subscribers and we can get
Yep,
the train rolling.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
No problem. Take it easy, George. Thanks.
Take it easy.
All right, thank you guys for view. Oh, is my mic up? Hello? Okay, yeah, it's working. All right, well, thank you guys for viewing. What you just saw was actually a pre-recording that I had with George earlier. When I was recording, I was afraid that his voice coming from my TV was going to interfere with my mic, so I turned my mic really low. I posted all the questions in the description below. You can check that out and kind of follow along. I'll have it fixed in time for the next show. So before we wrap things up here, I'm just going to give you guys a little demo of what I have created so far. So let's go ahead and do that. This is my website, greaterthanaddiction.org. I'm available 24/7 via this website. So here we have here, greater than addiction.org up here. You're going to see the cookies come up. And this is the website. And there should be a pop-up that comes up. I don't know why it didn't pop up, but most of the time another pop-up will happen. And you just X through that. Here, this is going to be my bot that's going to be asking if you're safe, if you're coming to this website and you're looking for help. I just want to make sure that everybody is safe. So if you do have a question, you can talk to me directly via our chat bot right here. This goes right to my cell phone, actually. And for people that are looking for resources, if you are going into rehab, or if you're debating on going into rehab and you don't know where to start, because there's a million places. There's a million places you can go, and it's very overwhelming when you're trying to start your recovery path. So I will help you. I will help you, and we'll decide together your best treatment plans, and that's exactly what we got going on here. So here you can see the about. It's my nice little boot camp picture. It's a little bit about me. Our blog. Please subscribe to our blog on our website. There's some really good information here. And I just want to let everybody know that I started this because of this guy right here. Because of John Nolet. This is all in his memory. And thank you for joining me for the first episode, Talking Addiction, Social Media Experiment. Please share and like this video. And stay tuned.